Hey YouTube, how you doing today? This is Pete once again. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a marinade for some salmon. This is a silver salmon that I caught last year. Beautiful salmon. Put up a good fight. Took about 10 minutes to reel this guy in because I caught him on light tackle on the beach. It was an incredible morning, just beautiful. First thing after a cup of coffee in the morning, catching a salmon. There's nothing better in the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it open and cut it into pieces that'll be nice on the dehydrator, because what I want to do with this guy is soak him in some of my homemade barbecue sauce overnight, and then tomorrow morning what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out and put them on the dehydrator. So these are kind of the pieces I do with the salmon. Some might think it's a little thick, but most of the time when I do salmon I end up eating a lot of it right away because it's just so delicious. This was a beautiful fish. Caught him on a little what they call a crocodile, which resembles a little herring. And what the fish do is they school around, and then with the high tide and the low tide, they come in close to shore, they move back out, and if you throw one of those little crocodiles in with the herring, the salmon come through and just maul right through what they call bait ball. This is some beautiful looking salmon, really nice pieces. So it's still a little frozen. What I do is, for that fish, I took it out not too long ago and I put it in a little Playmate cooler with warm water. And the reason I do that is usually if I give it enough time, it goes a lot quicker than just soaking it in the sink in water. The fish tends to cool off the water so it doesn't thaw as quickly. And some people might think that a barbecue sauce for salmon might be a little crazy, but it tastes pretty good. I'm going to soak it, and then when I dehydrate it, it's already going to have that nice flavor, and it should be real tasty. That's a nice thick piece right there. So far I've noticed with the dehydrator that fish goes about the same as any other meat as far as time in the dehydrator. Alright, so that guy's looking good. Nice little niblet there. I leave the skin on. That retains the texture of the meat. Sometimes when you dehydrate it kind of breaks apart and the skin holds it together. I kind of like that. Skin's tasty. It's all good to me. So that's the salmon I'm going to do. I'm going to wash off my knife. And I also got another treat, and that is buffalo. One of my favorite things in the world to eat. Tasty stuff. I like it better than beef. That's a nice thick cut there. Just like last time when I did the steak, I cut it kind of thick for the grill, and then for the dehydrator I'll slice a couple pieces thinner. It's a nice looking piece of buffalo. Whenever I see that in the store, I always grab a bunch because it doesn't come around here too terribly often, but when it does, I like to seize the day and grab as much as I can. That's a good looking roast. So like I said, for steaks I'll do kind of thick. Look at that meat. Oh, that's beautiful. That is going to be so nice. Alright, so that's 2 steaks for the grill. I'm going to cut a couple thinner. I'm going to experiment this time. I'm going to see if I can do some thicker pieces, or not necessarily thick and cut, but larger pieces on the dehydrator, like slabs like that, and work them around the circular shape of my dehydrator. So, a couple slices. That's a nice one. And what I'll do is I think I'll do one more of these. Yeah. That's a beautiful little piece for the dehydrator. It's going to soak up some nice juice. And then this one, I think I'll throw that on the grill too. Why not? So what I'm going to do right now is my favorite barbecue sauce in the entire world. A buddy of mine gave me this recipe a couple years ago, and wow, every single time I've made it, it's just a pleaser. Everyone loves it. Alright, so in order to do that, I get a bowl. Then I use whatever cheap barbecue sauces I have left over. This is some Sweet Baby Ray's, which is pretty good stuff. Not as good as mine, though. I got some KC right here. Now I'll put a big old squirt of this stuff. There we go. So that's about that much. I'm going to add some other goodies to it. For instance, a little honey. I like a sweet barbecue sauce. Sweet and sour. I like sweet and I like spicy. So I'm going to do a little of both. Damn, that's tough to get open. That was probably about a quarter to half cup of honey. And then I use a little molasses. Another tough cap to open. Anticipation. That takes forever. And with the molasses, you don't really need too much. Just a couple of tablespoons, I guess. I never really measure ever. I just shoot by eye. Come on. Come on. 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3-ish. Whoa, damn, that's tricky. That's a mess. I'll get that later. Alright, another nice ingredient is some hickory seasoning smoke. I put just a dabble, do you? There you go. And then, the buddy who gave me the recipe introduced me to this sauce. It's a Chinese style hot sauce. And the only thing he said with this recipe to keep an eye out for it is just put a bunch of hot sauce in. There's some Frank's Red Hot, good old-fashioned Red Hot. Put a good bit of that in. A little good old-fashioned Tabasco. I know it looks like a lot, but with all the sweetness going on in there, you're not going to taste it. It's not going to be so crazy hot. Some salt. And I'll season the steaks too later for the grill with, after they've been soaking. Some fresh cracked pepper. Doesn't have to be. You can, if you got one of those containers of pepper, that's just as good. I like cooking, so I got one of those. And then a couple ingredients that I like to put in is here's a lemon. It's kind of old, but still good. And because this is for just a marinade, I'm just going to cut the fruit and stick it in the blender as is, like that, with some garlic. And that should be a good amount. Alright, time for a drink. It's been a long day in the shop. I've definitely been looking forward to that drink for a while. Hits the spot. Alright, we got a little problem here, Houston. A little too full. I'll blend that down a bit and then add some more. And it would help if I had something liquid to put in there. Let me think. Oh yeah, that'll work. A little of that. One of those stealth ingredients. Alright. Hopefully that's going to be enough liquid for that. If not, I could have added some water. But hey, why drink water when you got that? I usually do just 1 lemon or 1 orange, so I did half of one of each, so that might be enough citrus for this, so I'm going to dump that in. Let's see how that goes. So that's what it looks like so far. I could smell it already. Woo, that smells good. I could smell the hot sauce and that citrus. So what I got to do, take a spoon, get that moving around. Oh, it smells good. And with the fish, it's nice to have a bunch of citrus. It really brings out the flavor. So there we go. That is a barbecue sauce for salmon and buffalo. So what I'll do is cook some of that on the grill, and the rest is going to go in the dehydrator. So I guess this is going to be part one of dehydrating that stuff, and I'll show you guys how it turns out. Hope you're well, and have a great day. Cheers.